Hello, welcome to the virtual college fair for all Virginia students, sponsored by the Virginia Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Counselors and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us today. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. You can direct questions to a specific school by including their name in your question, or you can present a question for all of our representatives to answer. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many sessions that are being presented, so be sure to check out the full schedule at strivescan.com/Virginia. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, strivescan.com/Virginia. Just a quick announcement about our presentations today. We will be hearing from 4 institutions. We are session C6, Bluefield College, Sewanee, the University of the South, Randolph College, and then Virginia Commonwealth University. Texas A&M University is unable to be here today. All right, I will now turn our presentation over to our first institution, Bluefield College.
Thanks so much, Jennifer. I appreciate that. Just a moment to pull this up for everyone. Oh, very good. So thank you so much for being here with us this afternoon. My name is Scott Polhamus. I'm the Associate Director of Traditional Admissions at Bluefield College, which is just a fancy way of saying that I work with our on-campus students. Bluefield is a very small college in the southwestern portion of the state of Virginia. We have about 1,200 students total, and that's what we like because that allows us to have fantastic 15-to-1 classes. So your average class size, about 15 students, and an average student to faculty ratio of about 14. This allows for great interactions and good one-on-one conversations with those faculty members. Our faculty teach over 40 different academic programs, from traditional liberal arts like the humanities and languages and the histories, as well as a wide variety of sciences and pre-professional programs in medicine as well as in law. Bluefield is a Christian college. It is near and dear to our heart, and it is the most important thing that we do is to lead and teach in the name of Jesus Christ. So you know that this is a place where faculty and staff are all Bible-believing followers of Jesus Christ, and our mission is to be a Christ-centered learning community that develops transformational servant leaders. So that's what we do at Bluefield College. We're located, like I said, in the southwestern portion of the state. We're only about 340 miles from our nation's capital and about 290 miles from the capital of Virginia, as well as about 3 hours directly north of the largest international airport in the region, which is the Charlotte Douglas Airport. And we're about 2 hours west of Roanoke, Virginia, which houses the local regional airport for the Southeast. I want you to come to Bluefield. I want you to visit with us. We are still operating on campus with our visits. We're doing it very carefully with proper social distancing, but I want you to know you still have that opportunity. So if you want to come and check out Bluefield College and talk to faculty and meet coaches and see classroom space, we'd love to have you physically present on campus. But we also offer a variety of virtual opportunities. You can do a virtual visit, kind of like what we're doing right now, but there'll be more interaction because you'll be able to talk to me and I can answer your questions directly. Actually, if you wanted to go to the Q&A in this Zoom, I have someone named Whitley Phipps. She is one of our admissions counselors here at the college, and she's actually actively answering your typed Q&A questions. So feel free to do that. But I want you also to look at that QR code right there. You can scan that with your phone. It'll take you to a place in our website where you can register for visit. You can get more information about the college and give us information about yourself so we can help you figure out if Bluefield's going to be a good fit for you personally. When you look at spending 4 years in a particular place, you want to know you're going to be comfortable, right? So one of the things that I love about Bluefield is that each summer, our student development staff, residence life staff, IST, the different folks who handle technology and maintenance, they go through all of our residence halls and find ways to improve the space for that next group of students who are going to come to live there the following fall. Just one example of some of the cool things they're doing is the recent addition to something called Smart Laundry. You can literally download an app that will tell you when your clothes are done in the washing machine, and then it'll tell you which dryer is available, so you can go and move your clothes into the dryer. And that's a free service that's available in all of our residence halls. Student life is huge at any school that you look at. You want to know what is available for you to study, and then what's going to be available for you to do in your free time and how to be active in your community. Bluefield features 25 different student organizations, including a variety of worship ministry related clubs and organizations like Bible studies, as well as more professional things like Students Today, Alumni Tomorrow, which is a student organization with our Alumni Association, which allows for great mentorship, professional development as well. We are an NAIA Division I school with 18 student athlete programs, and as Division I, we do have a great opportunity to scholarship our athletes based on their abilities and the coach's needs. And check this out, we just launched esports, which is an awesome time for students to actually get a scholarship to play video games and to really become that great part of the sports tradition at Bluefield College. And I want you to know that $37,000 number for direct cost, no one's gonna pay that. We do financial aid packages based on academics, fine arts, athletics. The different things that we're able to do to build your financial aid package start right here at freshman admission. We're looking at your transcript, but no test score. So I don't want you to be concerned about taking a test, because right now it's not a requirement for our students. So check us out. Here is our social media. I do want you to see that right there at the bottom, you're going to see that QR code again, and that is going to provide you access to a variety of things on our website. And again, my contact info, and I definitely appreciate being here with you today.
Great. Thank you so much, Scott, for sharing with us about Bluefield College. Our next presentation will be from Sewanee, the University of the South.
Hi everyone, my name is Letitia. I am an admission counselor. I'm an assistant director here at the in the Office of Admission at Sewanee. And so I will start to share my screen. All right, so thank you all for joining us today. Here at Sewanee, I'll go over just kind of some basic information and admissions information on our campus. We're located in Sewanee, Tennessee. So this photo here is a picture from campus. We are in the mountains and kind of just in this beautiful environment that students get to call home. So here you'll see a little bit more information on our breakdown of our campus, where exactly we're located. You can see the map in the background. So we're in Sewanee, Tennessee. We are in between Chattanooga and Nashville. So those are going to be the two closest cities to us. We're also about maybe 2.5 hours from Atlanta. So it gives you kind of some orientation of where we are. We are private, small private liberal arts institution. We have just under 1,700 students typically. This year, our freshman class was a little over 500, about 533 students. We are an Episcopal university as well. And so I think it's important to understand that we follow a lot of Episcopal traditions here at our campus, but we definitely have students of all faiths and all religions. You'll see that our students are coming from all over, 45 of the 50 states, 27 other countries. And I think it's important to note that almost 80% of our students are coming from outside of the state of Tennessee. So it's definitely not a place where everyone's going to be going home on the weekends. And here is a very lovely picture of campus. So our campus sits on 13,000 acres, which is a lot. It actually makes us the second largest college campus in the entire country. So it's definitely a really cool environment for students to learn and research. And so here you will see a list and breakdown of our majors and minors. They are all listed here. We have 38 majors, 44 minors. You'll see some pre-professional programs that we do have. We have like pre-med, pre-nursing, pre-veterinary studies. We have pre-physical therapy. Those are all going to be in under the medicine and health umbrella that we have in our pre-professional programs. But you'll see some others there as well. And if you have any specific questions about programs, I'm happy to answer those in the Q&A section. So beyond our academics, well, I think it's important to know our academic environment is definitely small. Average class size is about 17 students, 10-to-1 faculty to student ratio. And I think just really an environment where you get to know your professors and you get to know your classmates. But beyond that, you'll see the 24 Division III athletic teams that we have. We have about 30% of our students on campus that are involved in athletics. 99% of our students live on campus all 4 years. This is definitely something that's unique to us. We have a really interesting learning and living community in which students can live in singles, doubles, suites, apartments. We also have some Greek houses. We have really cool theme houses and language houses as well. So you can choose to live like in a Spanish house or German house or Russian house. Or we have a house for students interested in the environment and sustainability, and one for the arts. And we have our Healthy Hut for students that are passionate about health and fitness. So there's so many different options that you have, but our students are pretty much learning and living together for those 4 years. And then about 50% of our students are involved in Greek life as well. We also have something called the Sewanee Outing Program that really allows you to explore the domain that we live. Like I mentioned, we have this large campus environment. We have 13 lakes on campus. Students go cave diving on campus, hiking, rock climbing, canoeing, kayaking. We have a full golf course, an equestrian center, and a farm. So there's so many things, I think, to just dive into on campus. But the Sewanee Pledge is something that I do want to point out quickly. And so basically it's 3 guarantees that you would have as a Sewanee student. And so the first is that you are guaranteed to receive funding for a summer internship or research opportunity. We get it. You may not be able to find that perfect dream internship right in Sewanee, Tennessee. So our students go and do that all over the country and all over the world, and you're able to get funding to be able to afford to do so. We also pledge that you have access to a semester-long study away program and no additional tuition costs. We have over 200 study abroad programs to choose from on every single continent. So this makes it really easy for you to be able to do that. And then lastly, we are pledging that you'll graduate with 1 major in 4 consecutive years. So of course that means you're doing your part and keeping your grades up, but if you do not graduate in 4 years, you get up to an additional year of study for free on us. We will pay your tuition. And so when thinking about the admissions process, you'll see ACT, SAT ranges here, but we are a test optional institution. We have been since 2009, and so it really is something that we give you the power of in your application. You'll see the average GPA is about a 3.79, and you'll see a breakdown here. 97% of our students received some sort of scholarship and financial aid from us last year. We are a school that meets full need, so based on the FAFSA and the CSS profile, we look at your family's financial picture, and we are committed to meeting the full need of all students that we admit to the university. And here you'll just see some deadlines and options in terms of when you're applying to the university. So you have a lot of options. You apply through the Common Application. It's free. You just submit your Common App essay. We don't have any additional supplements or questions that you need to fill out. We're going to be looking at your transcript, what you're involved in. We require 2 letters of recommendation, so 1 from a college counselor and then 1 from a teacher. And then test is optional. So if you decide to apply test optional, you don't need to submit any additional information. You are just submitting your application without your test scores. And it doesn't disadvantage you in any way. You're still going to be considered for admission and for scholarships all the same. So that is kind of Sewanee in a nutshell in the admissions process. Again, my name is Letitia. I am the counselor that works with all students from Virginia. And so I am happy to be here, and any questions, pop them in the Q&A section, and I'll be happy to answer those. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Just a few quick reminders for all of our attendees. Texas A&M University is not joining us. is unable to join us today, unfortunately. So we will be hearing from two more schools, Randolph College and Virginia Commonwealth University. Also, just a reminder about that Q&A box. It is such a great way to ask a specific question about majors, or if you didn't quite catch the contact information or the best way to reach the presenter, you can ask that in the box. Maybe there's a question to ask about student life across all of the presenters that are here today. So please feel free to put those questions in the Q&A so that our representatives can take a moment and answer them for you. All right, so right now we're going to move forward and we'll be hearing from Randolph College.
Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And there we go. All righty, let's talk about Randolph College. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming and joining us today. My name is Marianne Vernelson. I like to introduce myself first so that I'm not just this random stranger lady talking at you for 6 minutes. I am a senior admission counselor at Randolph College. I also serve as the college's fine arts recruitment coordinator, and that's because I am a proud alumna of Randolph College, the class of 2017, and during my time as a student, I double majored in theater and music. So if you have any art-specific questions, feel free to type those in the chat box, and I would be more than happy to geek out about the arts with you. So Randolph College, just fast facts up front. First of all, we are located in beautiful Lynchburg, Virginia, which is basically right in the middle of the state. So we're a short drive from Roanoke or Charlottesville, but also highly commutable for a day trip to Washington, D.C. or Richmond. As a matter of fact, here in the city of Lynchburg, we have both a regional airport and an Amtrak station. The train goes all the way to Boston and New York City, so you have accessibility to a wide range of the country. Where we're located in Lynchburg is right outside the beautiful historic downtown, which features a bunch of really wonderful locally owned businesses, coffee shops, very important if you ask me personally, and restaurants. But our student body is small and close-knit. On our entire campus, we have about 600 students. But within this small population, we are highly diverse. Our students come from over 32 states and 11 countries, which for a student body of under 1,000 is pretty remarkable. We are also over 39%, our students are 39% people of color. So again, really wonderful and diverse. Our average class size here at Randolph is 11 students, and our student-faculty ratio is 8:1. So if you're looking for the sort of place where your faculty truly and genuinely know you as a person, this is an excellent place to be. Academically speaking, there is a whole lot going on with 30 different majors and 43 different minors. Some of our largest, most populous programs happen to be biology, history, psychology, sport and exercise studies, business. But if you have specific questions about our major and minor programs, feel free to ask me in the chat. Our faculty are the greatest human beings on the face of the earth, if you ask me, but not just if you ask me. The Princeton Review has ranked our faculty 18th most accessible in the entire nation 3 years in a row. For a tiny school like Randolph to make it in the top 20 on a big Princeton Review list like that, it means our faculty is doing something right. And what they're doing right is caring about our students. So much so that starting in the fall of 2021, we're going to be implementing an entirely new scheduling model. So our faculty did research over the past 2 years to see what the most effective way for students to learn is. As you'll see here on the bottom left of my screen, we have an example of a common schedule model. Typically in college, you're going to be taking 5 classes a semester that are worth 3 credits apiece. It'll be spaced out kind of similarly to this. Maybe you take 3 different classes on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 on Tuesday, Thursdays. Well, what our faculty find is that it's a lot for students to take on, especially on a collegiate level. So what we're doing is implementing a program called Take Two. We will be splitting our semester into 2 7-week sessions, and in each session, students will take 2 4-credit courses. So instead of taking 5 3-credit courses, you're now taking 4 4-credit courses in a semester. You can see our sample Take Two schedule here on the bottom right. You'll also notice that Wednesdays are always completely off. This is not only a cognitive break sort of day, it's a chance for you to really digest what you learned Monday and Tuesday, a chance for you to truly engage in experiences outside of the classroom, and really build your own brand. So this is something very uniquely Randolph that we are very excited about. Outside the classroom, we got a whole lot going on. This is definitely not a suitcase campus. Folks are always on campus and very engaged, even virtually, which we are virtual this semester in order to keep everyone healthy and safe. Typically, though, when students are on campus, we offer 16 different NCAA Division III, sorry, there's a typo on my slide, Division III teams. We are part of the Old Dominion Athletic Conference, which is one of the most competitive D3 conferences in the South. Arts is something that I'm always more than happy to speak about. As I said, you can ask me questions in the Q&A. You don't have to be majoring in the fine arts in order to participate. We have 4 different vocal ensembles. We have a student orchestra. We have an art museum on campus that is home to the largest exhibition of contemporary art, the largest annual exhibition of contemporary art on any college campus in the nation. There are plenty of opportunities to research and take on opportunities outside the classroom. But really, what I want you guys to take note of before I wrap up really quick is the fact that we are very easy to apply to. We accept both the Common App and our Randolph application, and we have a number of visit opportunities, both in person and virtually. Financial aid-wise, 100% of our students receive financial aid on the undergraduate level. And if you'd like to take a quick screenshot, this is my contact information. Sorry about that, guys. That's the end of my time, and I appreciate you all.
Thank you, Miriam, so much for sharing with us about Randolph College. All right, everyone, we're coming up to our 4th school for this block, and we'll be hearing next from Virginia Commonwealth. Just another reminder, Q&A box. Let's get some questions in there for these great institutions. Virginia Commonwealth, take it away.
Hi guys, I hope all is well. My name is Tanisha Pitchford and I am an admissions counselor for Virginia Commonwealth University. I'm super excited to be here, by the way, because although these are trying times, VCU is trying to find multiple ways of engagement, whether it's through our individual Zoom chat sessions that we have with our students, our virtual information sessions that we have weekly that are at twice a day, Monday through Friday, or our high school visits that we're doing right now virtually as well. So log on to our website, check out our events page and see if your high school is up next. But let's go ahead and get started. VCU is comprised of 2 campuses. We have the MCV campus and the Monroe Park campus. Our MCV campus houses all of our pre-professional health programs such as OT, PT, pre-nursing, pre-dentistry, dental hygiene, just to name a few. All of our pre-professional health programs are located on our main hospital, which is really well known. Students get to get interactive, meet with all professionals over there. On our main campus, which is our Monroe Park campus, is where you'll get started on your brand new journey being around. Here you have all of your housing options available to you, anywhere from our freshman residential halls, to which you are not required to stay on campus, but we highly encourage you to do so. We are located here in the heart of Richmond, Virginia, allowing everyone to give the opportunity to not only explore what works best for you, but how VCU can be an active impact in your life. Here we have about 150 community partnerships, anywhere from some of the big Fortune 500 companies that are located downtown in our area, anywhere from Dominion Energy Power, Capital One. We have marketing agencies for any of our business folks. We have what's called the FAN, which is the art districts for all of our arts fans out there. On a roll. We have 550 acres of James River Park systems for students who are interested in rock climbing, going down by the James River trails located all over Richmond. We have about 13 schools and colleges located on our campus. But out of those 13 schools and colleges, we have over 60 to 70 plus programs. If you're interested in engineering, forensic science, criminal justice, business, psychology, sociology, communications, media and journalism, arts, just to name a few, we do have it here. We are located 2 hours away from the DC, North Carolina, and the beach area. If you're from DC, you understand the traffic. So it's totally fine. Here is a nice overcast of what Richmond looks like from the VCU view. We have everything locally for you to not only participate on campus, but off campus as well, with over 501 plus student organizations, anywhere from fraternity sorority life, leadership opportunities, as well as we have a waffle eating club and a pancake eating club. And I love to mention them because it just so shows how inclusive we are on our campus. We like for our students to kind of find their own way and do their own thing. So you can just start your own club here if you like. Also, you can create your own major here at VCU. Bet you didn't know that either. It's called the Interdisciplinary Studies Program, where our students, if they're so interested in multiple programs that we have on our campus, we give them the opportunity to kind of make their own path. So for instance, you can be an arts major, a business major, and an engineering major all at the same time, which is kind of pretty cool because who knew you could do that? Now you do. Just to kind of give you guys a little bit of background, we also have about 30,000 students located on our campus. We have about an 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio, given that we have about 27 students on average within each class. We used to have about 75 to 200 students per class before COVID for our large lecture style courses. Now we have just about a cap of 50, and we are still completely social distanced with about 2 to 3 chairs in between each student. Here on VCU's campus, we also do not have an average student here. We like to consider ourselves giving students a holistic review process, meaning we taking everything into consideration, anywhere from looking at your essays, your transcripts, your recommendation letters, and your actual application itself. We don't weigh one higher than the other. We are looking at the middle 50% GPA and middle 50% SAT score. These two averages are based on last year's incoming class. So we are very flexible here. We understand that not everybody has the same GPA or SAT score. So people have a higher SAT score and a lower GPA, or a higher GPA and a lower test score. We take all that into consideration and we're very flexible. So although we do look at these specific GPAs and SAT scores, we are not contingent upon these specifically. Also, we are test optional. So students are not required to submit their test scores. So that means you can apply by our November 1st deadline, which is our scholarship consideration deadline for our deans, provost, and presidential scholarship. And these are not just any scholarship, kids. You know, these scholarships can pay for room and board. They can pay for tuition. That's what you're looking for, especially knowing that now you do not have to submit any test scores, and it gives you guys a little bit more opportunities to be flexible with providing aid. Also, don't forget that financial aid did open up on October 1st and it closes on February 1st. So you do have time to submit your FAFSA information. So get with your parents this weekend. Don't go outside. Go outside and have some fun. But don't forget to talk with your parents to get that stuff squared away so you can figure out how much aid you can get from all your schools. Also, we have the January 15th regular decision deadline. This is our primary deadline for our freshmen. We are enrolling in Admissions University, so we are accepting students year-round. Students apply also year-round. So we do have that as an opportunity. However, if you get us a completed application by the January 15th deadline, you will get a guaranteed decision from VCU, if not before or by April 1st. And that is a guarantee we tell our students, and they do get it, okay? We just want to make sure that to let you know that as all colleges are trying to get those decisions and reviews, we wanted you to know that we have a specific time slot that you will hear back from us. So there's no worry and no pressure. But for the scholarship deadline, I did want to point out that that is a very harsh deadline. There is no going around that. We will need that specifically, but I am super excited to have you guys join our university. Here is our contact information. Give me a call, and if you have any questions, I'll be see you. Have a fantastic day.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We enjoyed learning more about VCU. Okay, since we have a little bit more time before we wrap up, we'd love to, we have a question in our box right now. And actually, if I could have, so I just want to make sure all of our representatives are seeing that. It isn't directed to one institution, so everyone is welcome to take a look at that. All right, so if all of our representatives who presented could turn back on their cameras and join us all in the group, that would be great. And actually, maybe we can just throw this question out quickly. Everyone can go through it. So we'll start out with this one as our first round robin for everyone. We'll go in the same order that you presented. So once the presenter in front of you finishes, just, unmic and get started. All right, so the general question is, do any of you, if you just want to give a quick review and speak about any early action or decision dates in your application review and decision process. Bluefield College, get us started.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have a priority deadline of May the 1st. We love it when our students are able to make their commitment and the college decision by that time. And I'll let you know that we do have rolling admissions. We will continue to work with students and applicants after May the 1st as well.
All right, and at Sewanee, we have early decision. The deadline for that is November 15th. And then we have early action, which the deadline is December 1st. And then we have ED2 and regular decision as well.
We do not offer early decision at Randolph College, but we do have an early action deadline to apply on November 15th, as well as our regular decision deadline, which is March 15th. But even within and outside of those deadlines, we are rolling admission. So we'll take a look at your application as we get it.
Here at VCU, we do not have early action or early decision. We simply have scholarship consideration dates for your benefit to be able to afford more aid towards your tuition. The only specific regular decision deadline we have is the January 15th deadline. Everything else is rolling admissions, so you can apply whenever you can.
Wonderful, thank you. We know this is a really interesting year for schools, as there are more schools that are making it test optional for the ACT or the SAT for submission. And so different schools are doing different things this year. So there's another question about, is an application looked at as better with an SAT score? So I'm guessing this probably means, if it is test optional, does submitting that score change anything in that review process?
So Bluefield College is totally test optional right now, and we will continue to award scholarships based on students' academic success on their transcript. However, it is possible that if you have a high enough test score, we would give you additional scholarship dollars.
Yeah, at Sewanee, we are completely test optional, so it doesn't disadvantage you, and you will still be considered just the same. I always tell students, if you're not submitting your test scores, then that decision on admission and for scholarship consideration is pretty much based on your academic achievement in your transcript, as my colleague before me mentioned.
Like the two institutions before me, Randolph College is completely test optional, but I will say that when it comes to determining merit-based scholarship, we do not look at your SAT or ACT score at all. Those are determined entirely on your GPA, on your transcript. So there is truly zero disadvantage to abstaining from submitting test scores.
I always like to tell my students currently right now, due to the climate, that not submitting your SATs does not harm you. Submitting them does help you. It just depends on what your comfortability is. But long as you know the VCU standard is test optional, we're mainly looking at you holistically as a student when it comes to simply your transcripts, your recommendation letters, the supplemental information in your Common App, as well as the Common App as a whole.
Thank you all so much. I know that with so much to navigate this year, it's really helpful for students to be able to just be really clear and understand that. All right. So there's another question that's overarching. So applying about the essays being required. I'm not sure if the presenter or the person presenting the question is asking about any particular school. So if so, if you wanted to indicate that, or if any of our presenters wanted to mention anything about your essays or any essays or questions, short answers that might be on your application. Scott, do you have anything you'd like to say? Go ahead.
Sure. I was going to let Tanisha go first.
Oh, I didn't know we were still doing the
You want to
order.
reverse it? Let's reverse it. Let's go backwards. Can you guys?
Oh, cool beans, cool beans. Well, first and foremost,
Good
I'd like
idea.
to tell all prospective students, please read the guidelines. Not every school is going to require the same thing out of your essay. So please read the fine print. It is very important. As far as VCU is concerned, we have about 7 different essays for you to choose from. We're only going to read one, but it is very important for you to fill that out because it is a part of the Common App. So don't think of it as it's required. No, it's necessary. And this is how we get to view you as a student, because besides these panel discussions and these high school visits, this is how we really get to see who you are as a student and how you can contribute to the impact we're trying to make in each and every one of these institutions right here that you're listening to.
I would completely echo what Tanisha said, but in regards to Randolph, we do not require any essay. It is not part of our application. We are on the Common App, so if you filled out an essay for the Common application anyway, go ahead and send that to us. I like to really emphasize the fact that we do have a very holistic view of our applications. So any materials that you will submit will only help you. We want to be able to create as full a picture of who you are within that application file as physically possible. And considering the fact that we can't physically meet up as much as we would like, I think that essays will only help you through this process. Tell us about you.
Sorry, I was like waiting on Scott. That's me. So, you know, yes, mirroring what both of them has said before, we look at it the same way. We do a holistic review at Sewanee, and we do look at your Common App essay that is required for us. And we also have many prompts for you to choose from. So it's just important that you're reading the prompts and then answering them correctly, but just really telling us about yourself, because in that holistic review, an essay sometimes can be the only point of contact that we have outside of the numbers and outside of your transcript. So it really just gives us a place to learn a little bit more about you. So we just have the essay. We don't have any extras or supplementals, but it is required at Sewanee.
Bluefield College has a pretty straightforward application process. We do not require an essay or an interview, but throughout our time getting to know you, that's when we basically get to know you, through our conversations on the phone. So there is no required essay, but I will let you know that a variety of our scholarships, like our full tuition scholarship competition, do require essays.
Thank you all for sharing such great information for our students and other attendees today. It's great getting those questions. We hope this is helping you all feel more knowledgeable about the application process coming up. Let's move on to a fun question to help showcase for our attendees a little bit more about each of your campus's culture and that student experience. So we'll do this round the same way in the reverse. So we'll start with VCU. And if you could share a favorite tradition or event that is just a big part of that student experience on each of your campuses, we would love to hear that.
I would always say new student orientation. And new student orientation because as students are really trying to figure out their decisions, like as soon as you make your decision on a school, that new student orientation is super important. It's critical because not only are you engaging with current students, you're seeing literally what every department has to offer, more than you would see on a normal day. So it's kind of like seeing what's behind the student once you get here. And our students are really starting to understand that like college isn't just about what the campus looks like, or if it's a nice sunny day and I just so happen to take a nice picture. You know what I'm saying? Students are really engaging in this atmosphere of growth and opportunity and understanding that like this is my home, and seeing that out of students and having them realize that yes, I made the right choice. That is my favorite part.
So let me preface this by saying that Randolph College was founded in 1891 as Randolph-Macon Women's College. We're at about a 60-40 female to male ratio, so just by looking at our student body, you wouldn't be able to tell that we were founded as a women's college, but the way you would be able to tell is the plethora of fun and quirky traditions that date back to the days of RMWC that still carry on to this day. As an alum, I am super passionate and excited about traditions on campus, the most prevalent of which is the friendly rivalry between evens and odds. So you know whether you're an even or an odd based on your grad year. So as an alum of the class of 2017, I am a very proud odd. All of you seniors would likely be odds as well, so we're good friends there. And between this rivalry, there are spirit societies. So the odds have the gammas, the evens have the etas. There's an odd tree and even post that are constantly being spray painted, the odd versus even colors. There's actually a set of double stairs in our main hall that go to essentially the same place. And one set is the even stairs and one set is the odd stairs. And legend has it, if you go up the wrong set of stairs, you won't graduate on time. So even though I graduated years ago now, I've still never set foot on the even stairs. So just things like that that make us closer as a community. There's a lot of sister class bonding activities between first years and juniors and sophomores and seniors. But yeah, I could talk about traditions all day. Oh, it's so exciting and fun.
Here at Sewanee, we have a pretty interesting tradition. So I'm not sure if anyone has ever been to campus or seen our students, but you may see our students and even some of our faculty walk around in kind of these Harry Potter-esque gowns. And so it really is a really interesting tradition that we have. It's called the Order of the Gown. And so it is our honor society that we have at the university. And so you can be inducted into it. So it's really a high honor that our students are very passionate about and very proud of. But you can be inducted at the end of your freshman year, sophomore year, or junior year based on your GPA. And it's a really cool experience. So you get to kind of get gowned and you can pass your gowns down to other folks. People embroider their name and years on the gown. So sometimes it's really cool to see a gown that has like 15 names on the back and, you know, dates all the way back to 95 or something like that. And so it's just a really cool tradition to be gowned and then to gown others that are under you. And, you know, it's just kind of something that happens at Sewanee. So if you ever see Sewanee students in gowns, whether it be off campus somewhere or on campus, we are not, you know, competing with Hogwarts. It's the Order of the Gown ceremony.
Very cool. I actually personally love Harry Potter, so I think that's fantastic. At Bluefield College, we have a pretty strenuous time academically, just like any other school in that spring semester. You know, summer's coming up and you're trying to focus on your studies, but you know that summer's almost here. The last weekend of, actually it's the last Thursday of every April, we have an event called Mud Pig Day. And we will literally roast a pig together and have lunch together, barbecue style. All offices, like faculty, staff, are encouraged to go to that. There's no classes that day. There's hopefully a little studying, maybe in the evening, but not during the day. We do this really cool thing where we'll dig out a hole for mud wrestling if your coach lets you, kind of thing. We'll also park a fire truck on campus next to our largest hill, and we make a slip and slide that's about 40 yards long down to the mud hole, inflatable games. And it's really just a good time to hang out, not just with your friends, but also folks like myself, like faculty and staff, go and actually spend time with our students. And that's definitely one of the highlights every year. And it's something that we invite our prospective students. If you want to come on a visit, the last Thursday of April is a great time to do it.
Oh, awesome. Thank you all for sharing. I love hearing about everyone's campus traditions. It makes me want to come visit even more and to see a little peek inside things that are unique and really add to your campus community. As I get ready to go to our last slide, I just wanted to say to VCU, you have one more directed question in the Q&A if you haven't seen that yet. So you have a minute to be able to get to that. And if not, for all of our questions and for all of our attendees, just know that if you have questions after this event and need more information, follow up with the contact information that all of our schools provided, go to their websites, and you'll be able to get more information. We hope that this has added to your experience of your searching for a new college and the educational experience you hope to have in the future. So thank you everyone for joining us. I love spending time with all of our different representatives and having the attendees here. Thank you to our presenters for sharing your institution and encouraging all of the students to learn more. When you all depart, there will be a 4-question survey, a link to that, and we would appreciate any feedback that you can provide to us. Also, again, as a reminder, this is just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at strivescan.com/Virginia. And in about a week or so, you'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as all of the other session recordings at strivescan.com/Virginia, so you can learn about other schools or catch this presentation again to get more information. So thank you to all of our presenters. Thank you all of our attendees for spending time with us today. We appreciate it. This ends our presentation. So thank you all so much and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.